Do you sabotage yourself when it comes to self care? You may be falling into several common traps. We're going to talk about those today on this episode of Bite-Sized Brilliance. At this moment, you may be saying, hey, who's this guy? Hi, my name is Ken Okel. I am a motivational keynote speaker, and I help audiences improve their productivity on the job. Basically, I help them get better. I also write books. The most recent one is called Get Better: Smart Business Advice from Unexpected Mentors. Most people know that self care is an important thing to do. Little activities that you do that help you feel rejuvenated, renewed, more enthusiastic about work. Good things, but you need to do the self care to get to the good stuff. What's happening? People have little barriers that they put up, challenges to them doing it. Recently, I asked my LinkedIn connections, tell me what are some of the barriers to your self care? The first one, feel guilty prioritizing it. People tell me they have busy lives, there's a lot going on. Self care is often one of those activities that gets pushed aside or it goes in the folder one of these days. You want to make sure that self care is an activity that becomes a ritual because you know the benefits of it are worth doing. Quick example, let's say you don't get enough sleep. And by the end of a week, you're usually not the nicest person to be around. You're kind of grumpy. Maybe you make some mistakes. If you gave yourself a little bit of self care, which in this case might be a little bit more sleep, would you be better, more effective, and more charming and nice to be around? In this case, you may have a lot of reasons not to do the activity, and they could be legitimate reasons, but will those things, not doing it, give you the benefits you get from self care? Next up, people said, I don't have enough time for self care. Again, busy world, I understand. You feel like every minute is valuable and you got to spend it in the right way. Okay, let's slow down a little bit. Think about this. Because if self care is something that is good for you, can we find some time in your schedule for those activities? Doesn't have to be the whole day, but a 10-minute walk, a little more time in a hot shower, get a little more sleep. Can you slot those into a busy day? Often I ask people, look at 2 weeks of your life. Write down activities you're doing at work, at home, and see if you're doing anything that takes a lot of time and doesn't really produce much of a result for you. They're kind of things that are fun to do, but in the long term, they're not really important. Can you eliminate some of those activities to free up some time for self-care? Now, don't do this exercise and say, oh, I'm going to eliminate some stuff so I can fill it with more stuff that's not related to self-care. No. Don't do that. Your focus is on freeing up time for self-care so you can have a ritual in terms of doing these positive activities. Another barrier that people mentioned was that they don't have enough support at work for self-care. This is interesting because a lot of businesses say we care about our employees, we want them to have good well-being, and we're going to work them to death and never give them a moment to take care of themselves. You can see the problem there. Smart organizations make sure they are taking care of the employees, not just financially, but also emotionally. Make sure there are some self-care activities where people can take a break, have a chance to smile, catch their breath. If you're just focused on running I hate to say it, but like a sweatshop, then over time, people are going to burn out, they're going to leave, and that retention problem is going to cost you time and money. Invest in the people you have right now. Improve their self-care. Also, leaders at organizations that are committed to self-care usually model those behaviors. It's not just something that's talked about in a hypothetical way. People can see this is part of the workplace culture. Oh, maybe I should do that. Some people tell me that they really would like to do more self-care, but they're not sure where to start. Okay, I get it. Sometimes self-care is this dreamy word and you don't really know how to make it happen. Think about things that you like that replenish you. Can you bring some of those things into your workplace? Maybe you're someone who likes reading. Okay, during your lunch break, once you've eaten your food, maybe you crack open a book, read for a few minutes. Maybe it's getting outside for a few minutes, taking a 10-minute walk. 10 minutes is doable. I realize outside your office, it may not be the best natural setting, but the fresh air and just getting yourself out of that stressful work environment, that can be very healthy. Think about ways that you can replenish yourself, make yourself feel good, put a smile on your face. And this can be something where you talk to other people and say, hey, what do you do during the day to replenish yourself? Make yourself feel good. Show some self-care. See if some of their suggestions might fit for you. There are a lot of busy times during our day, but that doesn't mean that you can't take a moment or two to practice self-care. For more about me, go to my website, which is kenokel.com. While there, you can watch some videos from my speaking presentations. You can find out more about my book, Get Better, and you can check out my podcast, The 2-Minute Takeaway. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Ken Okel. Take care.